Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, it's your boy Cosmic, and in this video I'll be testing out Ancient 1 Unleashed Mystic uniform in World Boss Legend Stage 9 of Null and see how well the Ancient 1 performs. So without further ado, let's get into the details. For the details, I have max attack speed, max critical damage, the ignore defense and cooldown are also maxed. I have 72% ignore dodge, and I have 57% crit rate, but I wouldn't have to worry about the crit rate because the Ancient 1 already gives itself another crit rate, right? She gives herself 30% crit rate, I believe, from her 4th or 5th skill, around those. So yeah, for the gear, I have about 8 legendary energy attack Urus, just flat out Urus that I have on her. For her skills are all maxed out, all of them. Type enhancements are rank 4. The ISO is at stage 6, Hawk's Eye. I have no artifacts on her, and I have a CTP of Greed. Now I gave her CTP of Greed. The reason for that is because I want to use her in PvP and PvE as well because of that reflex, so I want to take advantage of that. The uniform is at normal. Keep in mind that she already gives herself, I believe, 20% increase to all buffs effects. Yeah, all buffs effects get increased by 20%, and all debuffs effect get increased by 20%. She also gives herself a skill damage and bonus damage as well. So the 20% all buff effects will make her CTP of Greed proc goes from 150% to 180%, right? And as well, for the all basic attack and defenses, it will go from 30%, I believe, to 36%, and the attack goes from 20% to 24%, I believe. So around there, she all of her buffs effects get increased by 20%. So you pick up the buff and you multiply it by 1.2 and you will get the result for it. So yeah, it's actually pretty good. Yeah, and she also gives herself critical damage increase by 30% and guaranteed crit rate by 30%. So yeah, I don't have to worry about the crit rate at all. She kind of synergizes with a rage because of the guaranteed crit rate, but up until then we'll have to test out just like regular proc. So I gave her a CTP of Greed. Greed is fine, it's not that bad. The damage proc on Greed goes from 150% to 180% because of that increased all buffs effect. So yeah, we'll test it out right now in World Boss Legend Stage 9 of Null and see how well she performs.
Been trying to change what I've been trying to say. Words don't come straight from my head to my mouth. It's such a shame that it fell out of place. Was never me that was bringing you down. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more?
Alright, so it took me about 3 minutes and 30 seconds, I believe 3 minutes or 3 minutes 40 seconds around there to clear stage 9 of Null using Asian 1. And keep in mind, Asian 1 has the magic tag, which means she takes full advantage from Wong's passive support, which is the 53% increased damage to supervillains and superheroes. She takes full advantage of that. And I also gave her Cyclops as a support for 30% energy attack increase. So she had like double supports on her. And it took her 3 minutes to clear stage 9, which is kind of not that good. I mean, it's kind of good, but it's not that great either. In terms of her damage output, the reason for that is because her tier 3 skill, it hits really hard. It definitely hits hard, but it has a very, very long animation. It has super long animation. You will end up proccing for your next rotation at the end of the 6th skill. Another part is that her frenzy buffs are not enough. Like if we just multiply this one by 1.2, because of her all buff effects increased by 20%, right? So 20% all attack multiplied by 1.2 gives you like 24%, I believe, or 26, I believe. And the all basic attacks on her 5th skill, the 30% goes up to 34, I believe, 34% or 36%, around there. So she has in total about 60% all attack increase in total between the 4th and the 5th skill. Yeah, she doesn't have accumulation. Her frenzy buffs are not that enough, to be completely honest. She doesn't have accumulation in 2022, and these days, if a character has to be DPS, they'll need to have accumulation somewhere around their kit, or they just have to have like massive numbers and massive hits on their skills. Or like someone like Loki, who doesn't have accumulation, but he hits really, really hard. As for Asian 1, it's not working well in her favor because her playstyle is not like, I mean, her playstyle is kind of suitable for a rage, but at the same time it's not, because of how the 6th skill work. The 6th skill of the Asian 1 hits the hardest, but like I said, it has very, very long animations. However, with a greed, keep that in mind, I'm only testing her out with a greed, and with a greed she did this in like 3 minutes and 30 seconds. I won't say that entirely bad. Yes, there is a humongous difference between CTB greed and CTB of rage, but yeah, with the greed she was capable of clearing this one in 3 minutes, so it's not necessarily bad. And this build is still unfinished, if you guys can tell. Yes, I have max attack speed and critical damage, ignore defense and cooldown. I also have 72% ignore dodge. That's a fact. Yes, I do. But she's still lagging behind a little bit. So I wouldn't say this uniform is bad per se, like because this uniform has received bad reviews from multiple people on the community. They all have like a negative opinion on this uniform. This uniform is not that bad as a damage dealer, but if you actually are looking for a specific damage dealer, there are better options. There are much better options, I can say that. However, I wouldn't say Asian One is bad by any means. It's just her playstyle is kind of not helping her enough. Alright, it's not helping in her favor. It's helping in the favor of maybe TTP of Rage or Greed, but it's not helping in her favor, if that makes any sense. So yeah, in 3 minutes and 30 seconds or 40 seconds, however it was the clock, I don't quite remember what it was, she cleared stage 9 with double supports. That's kind of decent. That is not impressive. I wouldn't say that impressive. I'd say that's decent for a character, a tier 3 character. It's kind of decent. Not that bad, but not that great either. So yeah, I'm fine with this uniform, and I'm okay with the, not every tier 3 has to be meta type of thing, because people expect that every character who gets a tier 3 has to be meta in a way. I mean, I'm sometimes fine with it not necessarily being meta, but however, she still may, even if she's not gonna be meta in terms of DPS, she still remains a very good support. 50% energy attack increase to blast types. Alright, this one applies to blast types, and her tier 2 passive increase all element damage by 40%. So characters like Mephisto, they will take full advantage of this leadership and the support passive. They take full advantage of it. So yeah, she still has value, even if she's not like a solid DPS. I mean, she kind of is to me, but I don't know, guys, about you. She is to me she's a very solid DPS. But even if in your eyes she's not a solid DPS, she still has the the elemental damage increase passive that applies to all allies, and the leadership that applies to blast types, which is the 50% increase of energy attack. So she still maintains value, nevertheless. And also she gives increased all resistance by 30%. This is very good against Mephisto himself, World Boss, because he has a chip damage that applies to you every time he hits with that fire damage, so you have a resistance over there. So yeah, she's still a pretty solid character after all. So yeah, I am very excited about this uniform. I'm kind of happy about this result that I got today. So yeah, Ancient One, tier 3 in World Boss Legend. I will test her out later in ABX and in Squad Battle and see how well Ancient One perform. So stay tuned for those videos, guys, and we're gonna wrap it up right here. So if you guys enjoyed this video, I know for a fact I've enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe and share so you will help the channel grow, and hit the notification ring bell so you won't miss out on any of the upcoming videos that I'll be posting about the Ancient One. And join my Discord server community if you wish to discuss with me about this uniform and all possible other uniforms that you wish to get. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.